Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really famous passage from the Apostle Paul, one he wrote while he was in prison, literally facing a possible death sentence. And, it's a real puzzle that has shaped how millions of people think about life, death, and what happens next.
So here's the big question we're tackling today. Paul is weighing his options, right? Life or death. And he comes to this conclusion that departing is far better. Now, that idea has had a huge influence on how we think about the afterlife. But the question is, have we been reading it right this whole time?
Okay, so this is the verse itself from his letter to the Philippians, and you can just feel the tension here, can't you? He is absolutely torn. He says he desires to depart and be with Christ, but at the same time, he feels this deep responsibility to stay and help the church. So let's unpack what that really truly means.
So when most people read this, what do they think? Well, there's a very popular interpretation, an answer that's pretty much been the default for centuries. The common take is that Paul wanted to die so his soul could just immediately leave his body and go straight to paradise to be with Jesus. And, that sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Death becomes this instant ticket to heavenly bliss. But let's actually put that idea to the test. To see if this common answer really holds up, we can run it through what I like to call a logic test. And we'll use one of the most famous stories in the Bible to do it, the raising of Lazarus. This question, it sets up a really fascinating problem, because think about it. If dying means your soul instantly goes to paradise, then Lazarus would have been there, enjoying the wonders of heaven for 4 whole days. So what happens when Jesus shows up? And this is where the logic kind of breaks down. Let's walk through it. Step 1, Lazarus dies and boom, he's in paradise. Step 2, he's there for 4 days, having an amazing time. Step 3, Jesus calls him back to a world of pain, sickness, and eventually another death. That's not a miracle of love, it's a cruel demotion. And this is really the whole point, isn't it? This popular interpretation turns one of Jesus' greatest miracles into an act that would have been terrible news for Lazarus. Can you imagine? Hey, sorry, you have to leave paradise now and go back to paying taxes. It just doesn't add up. This paradox kind of tells us we might be missing something. So, this leads us to a completely different perspective, one that's actually found all throughout the Bible. It's a different way of understanding what death even is. Instead of death being some immediate journey, the Bible often talks about it as a sleep. It's a state of total unconsciousness, like a deep, dreamless rest in the grave, where you're basically just waiting for the resurrection. You can't get much more direct than this. The text in Ecclesiastes just lays it out. The dead know nothing. It's describing a complete stop. No consciousness, no awareness, no thoughts. And get this, Jesus himself uses this exact metaphor. He doesn't say, Lazarus' soul is up in heaven, I'm going to go grab it. No, he says our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep and that he is going to awaken him. You see, that one word changes everything. Okay, so if death is asleep, how does that solve Paul's dilemma? This is where it all starts to click together beautifully. This is the absolute key to the whole thing. Objectively, from our perspective here on Earth, centuries, maybe even thousands of years could pass. But for the person who has died, the one who's in that sleep, there's no perception of time at all. It's an unconscious, timeless instant. So from Paul's personal point of view, his experience would be incredibly simple. The moment he closes his eyes in death, his very next conscious thought, what feels like a split second later, is opening them at the resurrection when Christ returns. No waiting, no long passage of time, it's an instant jump forward. And this is why he could say it was far better. To depart and be with Christ wasn't about his soul floating off somewhere. It was about his next moment of awareness being the ultimate reward, seeing Jesus face to face at the second coming. It's a fast-forward button to glory. So once we have this understanding of death as an unconscious sleep, how does it change our view of Paul's really tough choice? Okay, now we can see his dilemma in a totally new light. It's not about choosing between a hard life on earth and a chill afterlife in heaven. No, it was a choice between 2 powerful callings. Option 1, continue his vital, important ministry to the church right now. Option 2, close his eyes and, in what feels like an instant, experience the glorious return of Christ. And all of a sudden, his struggle makes perfect sense. He wasn't suicidal or just tired of living. He felt hard-pressed because both choices were so incredibly meaningful. Staying meant more work, more helping people. Departing meant, from his point of view, instant glory. Wow, what a choice to have to make. And so, we'll end with this thought to chew on. How does this perspective change things for you? If you knew that after you close your eyes in death, the very next thing you'll experience is the return of Christ, how does that change your understanding of Paul's dilemma and maybe even your own view of the future? It's a pretty powerful idea to consider.